as really insignificant things. She was doing way too little. I thought she didn't fit with this generation. She proved that she did still belong in this generation of females that are being promoted in WWE. How long it will last, I don't know. Maybe a reason why I just have special matches now at events like WrestleMania and SummerSlam. I really don't know. But I think it added definitely fuel to the fire that was raging on between John Cena, The Miz, Maurice, and Nikki Bella going into the big event when the climax of this match was seen after the victory of John Cena and Nikki Bella, which was pretty obvious. John Cena gets down on his hands and knees and asks Nikki Bella to marry him. I think this was a great setup for John Cena and Nikki Bella to finally leave the WWE. How long we will go without seeing them on WWE television, I really don't know, but I think this was a perfect way for John Cena and Nikki Bella to make their exit out of WWE and to set up for the debut of Tanashaka Minoka from NXT to feud with The Miz in the fallout of WrestleMania 33. Obviously, this is also a sign the door is closing now on John Cena and Nikki Bella more so than it ever has in the past. But I just wish people would stop throwing it in our faces that John Cena has left the WWE for Hollywood to make movies and to make appearances on TV shows and award shows. He's obviously taking advantage of the red carpet opportunity that's been laid out in front of him, and who can blame him with the money that's being made these days in movies? I mean, if I were in John Cena's position, I probably would have done the same thing because, I mean, you're not making that much. You're not making the greatest significant amount of money as a wrestler these days. You're only just being paid a high amount if you're in the main events, and sometimes with the main eventers, it's not enough. They're feeling underpaid. So obviously, yes, if you're having an opportunity thrown in front of you to be in these big budget movies for Hollywood, you're obviously going to take that ever before. You take an offer that's put on the table for you for Vince McMahon, Stephanie, and Triple H, and obviously John Cena is doing that. So I don't think we should have anything against John Cena for making this decision. I think it's very noble that both himself and Nikki Bella came out with what their futures were, holding for them. And they didn't just kayfabe it. They just didn't have a match at WrestleMania and walk away. And that's pretty much what John Cena has been doing for months now. He's been coming in, walking away, coming back, walking away. He hasn't really given us a certainty in conversation about his future. So at least now, with the proposal going out to Nikki Bella, her acceptance of that proposal, we know where John Cena is going in the next 6 months to a year. And even if it is 6 months to a year that we don't see John Cena in the WWE, he is going to be someone who definitely changed the landscape, credited for having done that ever before. The likes of Randy Orton or Daniel Bryan or CM Punk ever changed the landscape of WWE. He was the man who changed the landscape of the WWE, and that's the one contribution and his biggest contribution that he's never going to be forgotten for. So I think a huge congratulations for John Cena finally having the guts and determination to give Nikki Bella her WrestleMania moment and to get his proposal request out of Nikki Bella. I think a huge congratulations needs to go out to John Cena, and I know it's very rare that you hear me putting over John Cena on this show, but he really made WrestleMania 33 for SmackDown Live, just like AJ Styles and Shane McMahon gave something to WrestleMania and SmackDown Live and left it in the ring in a match that we had never seen before. There were no championships on the line. There was really no significance for this match. But if there was one thing to be talked about of this match, it's AJ Styles defeating Shane McMahon. And I know what you're thinking. Shane McMahon is just having the same thing happen all the time ever since he returned last year. It's Shane McMahon versus a major superstar like The Undertaker, AJ Styles, and he loses in dramatic fashion. He obviously, yes, lost once again in dramatic fashion at WrestleMania, but the purpose was obviously more obvious than any match that we had seen this year at WrestleMania, and obviously right in front of our faces. The purpose of this match was to put over AJ Styles for whatever the future has in store for him. You have Samoa Joe tearing it up on Raw, so you had to have AJ Styles tearing it up on SmackDown. It was an awesome match. The phenomenal forearm, of course. The Styles clash hit a number of times in the match before AJ Styles got the win. And I like the exchange of respect between Shane McMahon and AJ Styles in the follow of their match. Shane McMahon and AJ Styles shaking hands. AJ Styles feeling he owed something to Shane McMahon. A tremendous amount of credit going out on behalf of myself and the show to both Shane McMahon and AJ Styles for leaving it in the ring at WrestleMania 33. And if there was one match that left in the ring at WrestleMania 33 other than Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton, it obviously was AJ Styles and Shane McMahon. Will we see them fight again? I really don't know. If I had to put it out there in the way of a prediction, I don't think we will be seeing this happen anytime soon. And I say that because it was just a one-time deal. You don't have to have a second or a third match Between Shane McMahon and AJ Styles, it's over and done with, and whatever the future has in store for both these individuals, obviously the superstar shakeup for Shane, another adversary to be seen for AJ Styles in the fallout of the superstar shakeup. And what was interesting about the promo between AJ Styles and Shane McMahon was he said that SmackDown Live was the show he built. With no disrespect to The Rock, who was the original builder of SmackDown in the older generation of professional wrestling that came before this one. Obviously, he doesn't want to go anywhere, so that's kind of indicating to me that AJ Styles is going from SmackDown to Raw, and that's why he shook the hand of Shane McMahon, pretty much a thank you for giving him that opportunity that he's wanted for years, because AJ Styles debuting in WWE, being there in the biggest company that you could possibly be signed with, has been wanted for a very long time, as has Samoa Joe. So they're finally listening to wrestling fans, and I hope they keep listening to wrestling fans when you talk about characters like Joe and Styles, because they've been wanted in WWE for a very long time. Was really thrilled with what people like Samoa Joe and AJ Styles gave us this year at WrestleMania, gave us something to talk about. The Undertaker and Roman Reigns, I was very frustrated about. This is a match that I can't say enough bad things about. Because I thought initially what would happen: Tombstone, chokeslam, Undertaker would get the victory. He wouldn't suffer. We would see anything but the Undertaker suffering his second loss in his history at WrestleMania. But it came in the form of Roman Reigns. I have never been the biggest Roman Reigns fan. I don't think I ever will be a Roman Reigns fan. And the day that I come on here and say that I'm a Roman Reigns fan is very far away. So you can pretty much say that you will never see or hear me say that I'm a fan of Roman Reigns. Seeing The Undertaker lose to Roman Reigns in dramatic fashion, so many dramatic matches this year at WrestleMania, really hit a heartstring for me, really pulled at my heartstring. I don't think for 1 minute, I'll say for the record, that we have seen the last or heard the last of The Undertaker, because I don't think that Roman Reigns taking over the yard is the way for The Undertaker to go out. I am still a huge fan of The Undertaker and Kane one final time at WrestleMania, more so than Roman Reigns being the guy to defeat The Undertaker after beating Triple H last year. I know it may seem like it fits perfectly with Roman Reigns, the role he's been on at events like WrestleMania 32 and 31 in the past. He's headlined WrestleManias against Brock Lesnar, Triple H, and now The Undertaker, so it fits perfectly with Reigns' character, but in my heart, it doesn't fit perfectly at all with The Undertaker character. He's been a staple with WWE. He's been revered by so many people over the years of professional wrestling, and with a man as revered as much as what The Undertaker's been revered, is this really how you want The Undertaker to have one last hurrah, leaving his coat and hat in the ring, saying goodbye to the fans with the raising of his fist in the air like the American Badass Undertaker version of him used to do? I don't think so. I think Tombstone chokeslam to Reigns, putting it in his past and moving on to some greater adversary to put him down into his grave, his final resting place, call it what you wish, is necessary for The Undertaker. It could be seen at WrestleMania 34. Why not? Think about it this way. Why not return to the place where the streak came to its demise at the hands of Brock Lesnar in their match at WrestleMania, their final match at WrestleMania? Why not have it go back to the place where the streak came to its demise, which is just a little over a year away, and see The Undertaker have one final match against Kane or whoever it's going to be, other than Roman Reigns? Or how about this? The Undertaker versus Roman Reigns in one final match to determine whether or not it really and truly is Roman Reigns' yard. If Reigns beats The Undertaker in the second match they will have, because we've seen a series of matches where The Undertaker beat his deal with Shawn Michaels and Triple H for years, why not have one more match to determine really and truly if it is Roman Reigns' yard? If Reigns retains the moniker of having it be his yard like he did this year, then The Undertaker steps down, leaves his hat and coat in the ring, in one final emotional hurrah. But until that happens, I will not accept the fact that Reigns is the guy who defeated The Undertaker. And with superstars having speculation on the future of The Undertaker, if in fact we did see the end of The Undertaker, if indeed that's what it was at WrestleMania. It was a great match, but the conclusion of the match I'm not really buying into. And I've bought into a lot of things in all my years of being a fan of professional wrestling and having been around this sport, but I don't buy into the idea or concept of The Undertaker losing to Roman Reigns in one last hurrah, like a lot of people have been speculating on, obviously tying in significantly to the storyline, making it more convincing to wrestling fans. And if you're someone who buys into Reigns being that guy, then that's your choice, but it's not mine. And I just don't want to choose the fact that Reigns beat The Undertaker over The Undertaker coming back for one final match next year in the place where the streak came to its demise. I don't want to buy into it at all. The women, definitely a huge amount of credit needs to go out to the women's divisions for both Raw and SmackDown, because you guys really left it in the ring where you deserve to leave it, where you deserve to have left it for years. I think you've gotten the women's division to a place that it's been trying to get to desperately at WrestleMania for years and years and years. And I think that women of the past, like Trish Stratus, Victoria, Jazz, Molly Holly, all of them have something to be proud of because of what you guys have been doing. Because for years, they were unable to do it. Now, sometimes we would see Trish Stratus have a huge match at WrestleMania against someone like Mickie James back at WrestleMania 22 or Alita, but we have never seen the women's division taken to as much of an unprecedented level as much as what it's been brought to at WrestleMania in recent years. Last year, of course, Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte leading in the ring to crown the inaugural WWE Women's Champion of this new generation. And once again, in not one but two matches for both Raw and SmackDown, a six-pack challenge and a fatal four-way, fatal five-way, whatever it was, for Monday Night Raw. You guys really brought it. Nia Jax, Charlotte, Sasha Banks, Alexa Bliss, Naomi, Carmella, all of you, a tremendous thank you for doing what you did for the women's division this year at WrestleMania and giving us something to talk about. And that says a lot about how far the women's division has come. All you have to do is take a look back at the last 5 WrestleManias. There's been an average of one women's match every year at WrestleMania just to give them a spot on the show, and it's usually been a battle royal or a 12 women tag team match or a 12 women battle royal, something like that. We've seen different concepts this year at WrestleMania, from six-pack challenges, which I know we've seen before at WrestleMania, but at least we're seeing six-pack challenges, fatal four-way elimination matches, and their 4 titles. Let's keep this trend going for WrestleManias to come in the future. Really proud of what the women's division did, and a huge applause going into you for what you did. Thank you so much for putting women's wrestling where it's deserved to have been at WrestleManias for years to come. Let's keep that trend going and keep going with the momentum. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, what was this, the 3rd, the 4th inaugural Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal? In the past, we have seen people like Cesaro and the Big Show win this. The Big Show was obviously not going to win it this year, so they gave it to Mojo Rawley. I think this is the start of a very promising future for him. I've been really high on Mojo Rawley. I've been higher on wrestlers than what I've been for Mojo Rawley, but I've been considerably high on Mojo Rawley and a future for him. I was really proud of what he did, his performance in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. They were kind of teasing he was going to be the odds-on favorite to win the match this year. I know a lot of people probably didn't buy in to the idea of Mojo Rawley winning it, but he did, and I was really proud of his performance, and I look forward to a very promising future, regardless of what that may be for him. Awesome. It was just truly awesome seeing it happen. And now what we have to look forward to in the fall of this year's WrestleMania after 75